as you know, I try to bring on a special guest each and every week so they can share their stroke journey in hopes that we can gain a piece of inspiration and determination from their testimony. And as we grab those pieces and shift and mold those pieces together, it becomes something beautiful. And tonight I have on Cami Storms, who is going to share her testimony with us. Hey, Cami, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing outstanding, Cami. How about yourself?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit more mellow because it's morning here, but yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, so it's morning over there because you are from where, Cami?
So my name is Cami. I live in Australia, and yeah, I live in Australia. But I have a little bit of a complicated history. I also lived in the Philippines, and I've been moving back and forth between both countries. And because of COVID, I didn't go to the Philippines last year, which is sad. But yeah, I hope it's okay next year.
I know, right? It's definitely what's been going on in the world today as far as you know, the pandemic and whatnot has definitely put a damper on those travels. And you know, I know you definitely have a lot of family out there doing some wonderful things out there in the Philippines. And
yeah,
I'm sorry that you did not get to make it out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Definitely a bummer. So again, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. And we have been together, or we have known each other, not together, but we have known each other for quite some time now. I want to say close to maybe 10 months now or something like that. So, yeah. So, you know, I appreciate you coming on and whatnot. And so let's go ahead and dive on to Cami's stroke journey. So, you know, yeah, let's do it. But what I'm always intrigued by is I always want to know, you know, who the person was pre-stroke. So I know that you have known it's your husband, right? You guys are married, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I know you have known your husband since you were extremely young, right?
Yeah, we've been together since I was 15 years old, and I'm 31 years old now.
Yeah. So a long time.
Yeah.
So if we were to ask your husband who Cami was pre-stroke, what would your husband? Well, let's not just say your husband. What's your husband's name?
Tom.
Okay, so what would Tom tell us? Who Cami was pre-stroke?
Like very energetic, full of life, and so I feel like my story is interesting as well because I was actually adopted. So I met my husband online. I was weird. Yeah, and so when he like fell in love with me, my story, I guess, was I was living in the Philippines at the time, and I wanted to come back to Australia, which I did eventually. And I don't know, like I think I'm an interesting person because I've lived very weird, like where are you, and but in the end it always turns out like I'm living now happy in Australia, so it's okay.
That's awesome. So I'm not too sure what this is, Bagua or Bagwai. I'm not too sure if that's related to the Philippines. Do you know? Salute says she was born in Bagwai, or I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't know that place either.
Me neither. So I'm assuming it's in the Philippines. I'm assuming.
Okay.
But, okay. Yeah. We can't relate. But thank you, Salute, for sharing that. I appreciate it. But so now I know that your stroke journey is a little bit different than the normal because yours was caused by an autoimmune disease, right?
Yes, it's called polyarthritis nodosa, which is just basically my body builds up all these like lumps in my skin, and that's how it started. And I always thought it was like, yeah, it's annoying and it's painful, but it's okay, like I can do it. And then when it came to neurological, I was like, what the hell, I don't know what is going on. But apparently one of the side effects is it makes the blood thicker. And
Oh wow,
yeah, so I've actually had three strokes.
three
um
strokes.
yeah,
Okay,
and yeah,
okay.
so that's
So
fun. Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't know about fun, but
Mhm.
so okay, so the autoimmune disease that you had, it makes your blood thicker.
Mm.
So when was the first one that you had? The first stroke?
I was 27 years old, and I actually had my first stroke on holiday, and
Oh
it was
no,
on
what a
the first
bummer.
night.
What? Oh jeez.
Yeah, it was like, oh, welcome to Bali, and then yeah, I was like, right. um, Yeah, so it was really shocking the first time, especially because
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on, and my husband wasn't with me the first time.
Oh
And
my
like,
gosh.
yeah, in like 6 years, he wasn't next to me, so I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, and like, because usually he's always with me, but I was having a holiday in Bali to visit my family from the Philippines,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And I actually texted him, don't worry, I'm okay. Like, uh, but when I texted, it was voicemail. So when he played it back, it was so bad. I sounded really bad. I was like, oh, and I can really, I was like laughing, crying, like, what the hell? Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, it was
So
shocking.
so you had your first one on holiday, and
Yeah,
what
in
what
2000.
in 2017, right? 2017.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what precursors did you have, like knowing that you were having a stroke?
Oh, like before, I don't know, because I actually thought I had a migraine, and because I've had many migraines before, and I was
Mm.
just very tired, and then I was like, hang on, this is not normal because um I tried to take a drink of water, and I couldn't swallow it, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, then I was getting a bit worried. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
No. And so, like, when did you know it was time to like go to the hospital and whatnot?
Like within hours. I know I'm not sure exactly what happened, but oh, hang on. So my family was going out for dinner, and I said no, I can't go. I'm tired. And then when they came home, I actually said something to my sister. So we have my room and her room was next door, and I came to the door and I was like, Gazella, please help me because I'm getting worried now. And she was really worried as well. She was like, because I never asked her anything. And so this is the first time I was really like, I need help. And it was really good. She was very calm, and she organized like the chair, like a chair, and the hotel to drive me to the hospital. And yeah, that was, yeah, I think it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
So you get to the hospital for your first stroke,
Mm.
and then what happens next when you're at the hospital?
Um, like the first thing they did was do a blood test,
Yeah.
and then I actually vomited, and then they had a CT scan, and then the guy came back and he was like, "I'm so sorry, you've had a stroke," and I didn't believe him at first. I was like, "No," and he's like, "No, you have had a stroke," and I was
Yeah.
like, "What? Yeah," and so next few days I don't really remember.
Uh,
Yeah, and then my husband came from Australia to be with me, because I think my sister called him and she's freaked out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah,
I mean, a stroke is kind of a big deal. So, I mean,
yeah,
naturally, yeah, the family member, close family member is going to freak out.
mm,
So,
yeah,
so your husband came out, and then
yeah.
what happened? What happened next?
Okay, so I could only stay in the hospital um for 1 week, and then I could go back to Australia. So in between time, um I think it was the third day or the fourth day, my family had to go back to the Philippines to, because it's the end of the holiday.
Mm,
And I was like, bye. And yeah, and so I just waited till the end. And then my husband and I flew back to Australia. And it was really cool because they upgraded us. And yeah, I can't really remember what happened, but I remember thinking, um like, I can't believe this is real, like, what's going on. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Now, from the first stroke, did you have like any side effects, like trouble
Mhm.
walking,
Yeah,
trouble speaking, or anything like that?
yeah. Walking, I can't walk at all, so yeah, that's why I have a wheelchair.
Mhm.
And we're talking, it's until now you can hear, especially if I get excited, I lose control of my voice.
Mhm.
um Yeah, and yeah, so I had to learn how to talk again, and my voice comes in now like a phone call. I have no idea. Yeah, but I mean, altogether, like, all these things are crazy, but then it's actually made me stronger and
Of
have
course,
a, yeah,
yeah,
and have a stronger voice, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, one thing that's a bit sad for me is because I used to love singing, and I can't sing at the moment.
I
Hopefully it'll
I
come back.
think you can, Cami. I've heard you sing. I've heard you sing lately. I know it's coming back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, come on now,
Oh, I hope so.
come
I mean,
on.
like, in certain notes, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, um, it just feels like, because when I sing, it feels like a part of my voice is missing. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's one of those things that practice makes perfect. And then
yeah,
Salute
yeah.
is telling us where that place is. She says it's Bagalo, Philippines, or Baguio is
Oh,
in the
backyard.
mountains and is in the
Oh,
summer capital of the Philippines since it's cooler up there.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to go there one day. I'm actually living in an island. It's in the Visayas, and it's called Sikihor. And yeah, um when we live down there, it's kind of like our own world. Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
really know about the
Well,
Philippines much.
yeah, it's her own world because yeah, it's her own island. It's her own island. But we won't get into that. We won't
Mm,
get into that. We won't get into that, right, Cami? So,
mm,
but but so you had your first stroke, and it you said that you left in a wheelchair. You couldn't really talk.
mm.
Then boom, what was it? A year later that your second stroke happened.
Oh no, my second stroke happened at the end of 2019.
So 2 years
And
later.
yeah, 2 years later. And that one, I feel like that was like a TAA, or like, not
Okay.
as, it wasn't powerful because I don't really feel different. I found out from the doctor that I had it while I was over in the Philippines, and I was like, what? And yeah, so that was kind of a non-deal.
Yeah.
But then I had the biggest one was in March 2020. It was also at the time of the beginning of COVID, and
Oh
I
wow.
was in the hospital, and I didn't understand why. and they were like, okay, can you raise like your arms and stuff? And I could only raise, hang on, which my left arm, because my right arm wasn't working. And I hang on, I can't remember. Was it left or right? But I do remember that there was one side that was a bit playing cooperation.
Yeah.
I kept like steering towards left, and yeah, and then I was like, oh, why do I keep on going like left? Because I was in the shopping center, and then my husband was like, let's go check it out at the hospital. And then they admitted me, and then they're like, you've had left stroke. So I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh
gosh.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So I mean, the biggest one was the first one. The second was small. The third was in between.
Yeah.
Like, because it did affect my walking. I can't really walk properly until now. And yeah, so, but it's okay. I feel like, I don't know, like having all of these strokes has really taught me how to be strong in myself. And um, I don't know, I just believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. And it does, it does happen for a reason. I agree with that 100%. I like your mindset in that,
Mm.
and so the third one, what did it affect? So the third one, it kind of altered your walking as well, but not as bad as the first one.
I'm not as bad, but it did affect my walking. And yeah, like, I mean, not as bad because the first time I couldn't walk at all. And this time I can still walk and things like that. But just like my gait and like, I don't know, just, I don't know. If you see me walk, it's like, yeah, something happened to her. Yeah. Yeah.
There's something going on there, but I'm not too sure what, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when we first met, somewhat close to a year ago, it must have been like right after a few months, maybe right after your stroke, then, huh?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, so I, so your voice then is something that has recovered tremendously.
Yeah, like, definitely I can do a lot of things. But I think it's just, but it's not the same quality as it was before. The stroke, all the strokes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what aspects, like, so before your stroke, you had ambitions and goals set up for your life, right?
Mm, yeah.
What ambitions and goals do you mind sharing what ambitions and goals you had set up for your life?
I think my life goals is still kind of the same. um, because I'm a writer as well. So,
Yeah.
and that's really perfect because with stroke you're like off work. But yeah, so I think, I know, just with being a writer, it's helped me to kind of accept what's going on. And I'm actually writing a novel, and hopefully it will be published next year.
Nice.
Um, yeah, because it's also kind of like a love story between my husband and I, because there's so many funny stories. um, but yeah, I think that the book is really part of my being of like how I want to show the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, obviously, with the, what's going on, the love story and whatnot,
Mm,
the three strokes are intertwined in there and whatnot.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And then,
Yeah.
obviously when we sustain a stroke and whatnot, you know, um, it doesn't just affect us.
Mm.
I want to know specifically how it affected your husband.
Uh, I feel like I'm just laughing because I remember my husband, like, just to know, like, because he's kind of like my carer, and like he drives everywhere, and I can't drive, and it's annoying because I have my license before, and now my legs. I think they said it has ataxia or something. So
What's
um
that?
I don't know really ataxia, but it's sort of like uncontrollable movements.
Okay.
Um, if I take another driving lesson or driving test, sorry, I have to do like something um on the wheel. They're gonna add something, I don't know. And yeah, I'm just like, oh, like I can't drive. Um, and I asked my husband all the different things like wow, I've changed, and he's like, not much, but at the same time, like, because sometimes I'm really tired. Um, you kind of do the same as before, but kind of a lot less. And I was like, okay. um, but yeah, like I try now, so yeah, that's all really. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So
Mm.
now that we're gonna jump over to your immediate family, how would you say that your stroke affected your immediate family, like your mom, your dad, your sister?
Okay, so okay, I'm like, okay. Um, so actually my mum passed away in 2018.
Oh, my
So
condolences.
yeah, so a little bit later after the stroke. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like when I cry now, it's really different than before because I actually didn't cry before. um, and now I just, oh my God, the tears just take over, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with me. Um, but yeah, with my immediate family, I think like they weren't touched as much because I wasn't actually with them. It's really mostly Tom. um, but yeah, I think just my reaction to how things happened with my mother told me how I'm dealing with my stroke as well. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. So let's circle back around to your autoimmune disease. Now, is that something that is under control now?
Yes, it is. It's under control. Um, because actually they said that I might actually have avoided having 2 or 3 strokes because my medicine was not at the proper wasn't working. So the first time it was expired,
Oh
and
my
the third
gosh.
yeah, and the third time I wasn't taking enough of the medicine. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I kind of I feel like it's like such a battle all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and but it's okay. Like I can say that, and then something happens. Uh,
No, 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 no.
no, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, that's
Nothing's
it.
gonna happen.
Yeah. So um, I think it's okay now. But yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So um, with the medicine I'm taking, I'm actually lowering a little bit because the main medicine is working. So um, they told me that if I can hold my medicine at this level
Hmm.
for 6 months, I can have a baby. um, yay! I
I
mean,
know,
I know
right?
it's so silly to think, oh my god, I want to have a baby, but I actually do.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and yeah, so I can try to have a baby in June this year.
How
So
exciting. Oh my gosh.
and
Yeah,
yeah, it's so exciting. Yeah,
it
and I'm
is.
avoiding that. Yeah, so that will be a huge thing in my life, hopefully.
Yeah, I know, right? That is super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you and Tom. That is so exciting.
Yay.
I know, right?
Mhm.
And so, what exact medicine are you on? Are you on like blood thinners? What?
So I'm on blood thinners, and I'm on prednisone for autoimmune disease, and azathioprine for autoimmune disease as well. And hang on, oh yeah, and so I've actually just three. Oh really? Wow, I'm amazed because I used to have so much more, um, like painkillers and things like that, but I'm not allowed to have any. So I'm off my painkillers, but I can take paracetamol, so that's painkiller anyway. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So, what's the reason behind not being able to take painkillers?
Because with the painkillers, I think they were saying like it's not good for the baby.
Oh,
So yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm like, check it out.
get that
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah,
I'm on this
yeah,
baby train now. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And so we got Brooke saying, I understand these emotions. It drives me crazy. I think I'm not too sure if it's a stroke thing or what because I do the same thing, so I'm assuming it is. My emotions run rampant.
Mhm.
I can be watching something on TV or
Mm,
on YouTube, and
mm.
just tear up
Yeah,
and
and I'm like, well, that's so weird because I'm so like not a crying person before. Like I would laugh and like I still do now. But at the same time when I cry, it's like, oh my God, why are you crying? It's so weird.
like
Yeah.
especially like I'll be watching like Shark Tank or something, and
Mhm.
like when someone goes on there and like they get like a deal, like it's like the most ridiculous thing, and they go on Shark Tank and they crush it and they get a deal on Shark Tank, and especially if it's
Mhm.
like they have like some sort of sob story to go with it, and
Mm.
I'm on there and I'm like, and it's just those type of things, those are the ones that get me when someone, is basically in need of a break, you know what I mean, type
Mm.
thing. Those
Yeah.
are those are the ones that get me the most,
Yeah, definitely. I've cried in Shark Tank too, which is weird. But Um, I don't know, and it's so weird when I cry though. I actually have this voice in my head saying, "What the hell? Why are you crying?" I'm just like, I don't know, just go with it.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. Yeah, that's so funny. And
Mm.
now, so do your emotions go like the other way where you like get upset or angry easily or
I'm more like it's weird because actually I don't actually get angry before I had the stroke. At the stroke, during the stroke, I actually got mad one day, and I have no idea why. And I was like hitting my keyboard, my piano. Sorry, I'm pointing at my piano. Sorry.
uh,
And I don't know. And then it was like gone the next moment. And yeah, but I haven't had any problems with anger since then.
yeah, me
Mm.
neither. I live the mantra or the mindset, as you said, that everything happens for a reason.
Mm, yeah.
Like for instance, my son was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
just diagnosed this last November with autism, and
Mm,
it's affecting my wife a lot, but
mm, mm,
and it's it's just nothing you can do about it. It's the way that it's supposed to happen. It's
mm,
happening for a reason, and everything's gonna work out how it's supposed to. You know what I mean? There's
yeah.
no sense in being upset about it, angry about it.
Mm,
So, you know, but and the same note, Brooke is saying here, talking, going back, circling back around to um, This is the one right here. Circling back around to right here. Jackson.
Hi.
Circling back around to, you know, when you're saying that, you know, you're gonna have, you know, trying to, you know, get pregnant, you're gonna get pregnant here in June. And Brooke is saying, awesome, I love this. Being a mom is the best thing ever. It completely changes your life, gives you a whole new perspective on life. It really does. Once children enter, you know, enter the fold, it really does. It's amazing. It really is. It really is.
That's so nice. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, because I feel like because my mom, with our family, we're really close before, and when I have kids of my own, I hope that I can be as awesome as she was.
Yeah.
Like even half. Like it's just, I know, like to have a big family, I think is my dream. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I always wanted a big family for myself too, because I had a fairly large family. I had
Oh,
how many siblings did I have? I had three, two brothers and one sister, and
oh,
yeah, and then a stepbrother and stepsister as well. You know, so it was
oh, yeah.
so you know it was fairly large family, and it's just awesome to have, you know, a ton of siblings. It really is.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'm gonna have 4 kids at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
I wanted five, but I fell one shy. You know, I'm yeah, one shy. We're getting too old, man. We're too old. We're pushing 40.
Oh.
Yeah, after the last one, my wife said, "No, we're done. That's it."
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. You've
Yeah,
already got heaps. Yeah.
yeah, we got heaps. We got heaps. It's the Brady Bunch up in this utter chaos.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and Paul says here, emotions were the hardest thing to get a hold of for him.
Mm. Oh yeah. Like even now, I can laugh when I'm trying to be serious, and I'm like, why am I laughing? It's so bad. Like going to if a funeral of my friend, and it's really sad. I don't know why I'm smiling, and yeah, I was really embarrassed. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I'm not laughing at all,
Mhm.
but I can't control it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
don't remember. Yeah,
avoid
I
it.
don't remember who it was. I think it might have been somebody on Jerry's show was saying the same thing, that
Mm,
they can't go to funerals because they just start laughing. So
mm.
they can't go to funerals at all. I don't remember if it was on Jerry's show or not, but
Oh,
yeah, yeah. And for some reason, you know, I don't cry at funerals either. You know, it's
oh,
weird.
really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like scared to, because like ever since that time, I'm like scared to accept any invitations because I know how I am. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I can't be there. But
Yeah.
you know.
Does that make you feel like guilty afterwards? Do they
Oh
understand
yeah,
why?
hell yeah. I mean, I don't really explain why to them, so I think they're like kind of put back, and I'm like, I can't be there, and I don't really give explanations. I really feel bad about it. Sorry, but I just can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Now, I know I do this often, going here and there
Oh, that's fine.
with what we're talking about now. So now that we talked about this and that and XYZ and elemental P, so now you conquered your stroke, right? Or your three strokes, I should say. You conquered your three strokes, right? And
Yeah,
and what what was the immediate like? How was your progress after your strokes?
I think it was fine. Like, I mean, I was like, I don't know if I had no mindset because I was always like this, but I was like, I've done this and I'm moving on. Like, it's time. Like now, I'm actually just thinking about getting pregnant and like moving on, and this is like the next stage of my life, hopefully.
Yeah.
And yeah, I try to think like it's okay, everything's happened for a reason. But now, my reason, I will tell you my reason. Like, I'm having a baby, and now it's time. No more strokes, hopefully, because I'm
Mhm.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Mm.
it's no more. We're done. We're done with that. You're on the right medication.
Yeah.
Everything's figured out. You know,
Yeah.
it's not gonna it's not gonna happen anymore. We're good on
Mm.
that aspect. So now you're working, right? You're working.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you're
I'm
working
actually
at
writing. Yeah.
you're what?
I'm actually writing again. Um, I work for a marketing agency, and I write blogs for them for their clients. And yeah, it's good.
So someone says, "Hey, I need a blog for my company," and then you figure out what type of company they have, and then you write the blog for them.
Yeah, and I write it in their words, so I'll ask them a few questions about like the business they're in and things, and the rest I'll kind of make up myself. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So if anyone needs a college paper written, they'll just hit you up or what?
I mean, um, I think. Oh, I don't know how to answer.
Well,
um,
we don't need any plagiarism up in here.
yeah,
That's a
no,
hard
no, no, no
that's a hard
plagiarism.
negative. That's a hard
Yeah,
negative. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a hard negative. Yeah. So now, Cami, I want to wish you and Tom nothing
Mm,
but the best with
mm,
your future baby that is
yay.
coming. You know,
Oh, it's coming. Yes. Please, it's coming this
it,
year.
it is coming, you know, and, you know, since we have built up this rapport and this relationship, you have
Yeah.
to name him Mark. And if it's a girl, you have to name her Marquita. Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right. So now, Cami, let's go ahead and see who we had in the house tonight. So we're gonna do some shout outs. We had Kevin Coleman in the house. We had Salute Celinda in the house. She had,
Uncle.
we had Salute Celinda in the house. We had Brenda Booth in the house. Who else we got here? We had the one, the only Paul Cummings in the house. If you haven't watched Morning Coffee with him,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
check it out. And then we have, of course, our good friend George Chilifanditis, good friend of mine, one of my best
Oh,
friends.
I recognize his name.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's one of my best friends, George.
Oh,
We got Paul Quillen here. We got Brooke Allen. Who else we got? We got Jerry Wald. He hosts Let's Talk Stroke.
mm,
Of course, you know Joy. What's up, Joy? We got Joy in the house. Who else we got?
oh, hang on. What's Joy's last name?
Joy Towner.
I think.
She was the other host of the Coffee Club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Joy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
We got Angie in the house. We got Mr. Hey Now, Brad LeMay. What's up, Brad? I can't remember if we did salute already, but she does Tom and Salute's real life redo. And then we have Melissa Overfield in the house as well. I think that was everybody. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and watching. Oh, and then Marina Ramos as well, who said that she was late. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Now, Cami, do you have any final words of wisdom for our community?
I think that if ever you have a stroke or someone close to you has a stroke, just know that you can get through it and they can go through it, or either. um, and yeah, just be easy. Understanding, sorry, understanding that things are different, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have to happen. Um, like if you're having conversations, they might be different, but it's still okay to be there for them, or ask for help. And yeah, I wish everyone best of luck. And yeah, if you can find a friend like Joy, I think that's really good, because she can really help you stay upbeat and positive about what you're going to do. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, beautifully put. Now, my final concluding thoughts, which we talked about many times, was you spoke on it, that things happen for a reason.
Mhm.
You could have stopped at when you had your autoimmune disease. You could have
Mhm.
threw your hands up in the air and said, why is this happening to me? When
Mhm.
you had your first stroke, why is this happening to me?
Mhm.
You had,
Yeah,
you had your second one, your third one,
yeah.
but yet, you know, no, you didn't stop. You kept pushing forward. You kept pushing through. You continued on with writing your book. And
Mhm.
now, your book is going to be one where someone can read it and learn that they too can, go through a stroke, and not only go through one stroke, but go through three strokes,
Yeah.
and,
It's
move
called
on.
The Storm Before the Calm. Sorry.
What
The
is
Storm.
the storm before the calm? That's what the book
Yeah,
is.
because my last name is Storm, so
There you
I was
go.
like, how can I use this? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and here you are, about ready to have a baby, hopefully a baby coming up here in June, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, they throw their hands up and they wonder, why is this happening to me? And it's hard for
Mm,
people to envision, you know,
mm,
that everything does happen for a reason.
yeah. Sorry. Because I can only start. The doctor told me I can only start in June, so I'm figured. Okay, I've got 6 months. I'm gonna go to the gym and and get my body back the same way before, which I've done so many times before. Um, and yeah, I think that everything can be done. It's all about being positive and saying, you know what, it's okay. You can throw this at me. Look at me. I'll take it in my hands and move on.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Mm,
And it's all about the having the right mindset moving forward, and taking what you're going through it in stride. And
mm,
it might knock you down in that moment, but the most important thing is getting back up and keep on trucking. And
mm.
you are living proof that it is possible.
I
And
hope so.
yeah, you are. You went through not one, not two, but three strokes, and here you
Yeah.
are.
Mm,
Powering through it, and about ready to have a baby here in 6 months. So, you know,
yeah.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you. As George said here, we don't we breed them tough here in Australia, So I appreciate you, being a warrior and standing up and fighting and continuing
Mm,
to persevere. So now I end all my shows with a prayer, Cami. So let's go ahead
okay.
and do that.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing Cami to come on and share her testimony to not only prove that overcoming a battle is possible, but to share inspiration and hope for other survivors who may need it in this time. And I also ask you to watch over and shower our community during these hard and dire times and continue to give them hope and inspiration, not only in their recovery, but in life in general, as these times in this state is hard as it is, but we can, as an individual or as a community, push forward and fight for what we believe in. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh,
Cami,
thank you so much.
thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you again.